Hey everybody, it's Kobe from Amor IT Solutions. Today we received a box from UPS, a couple of different boxes. Synology sent us a NAS unit that's rack mountable. They also sent us in a separate box the rails to actually put it in our rack. So we're going to unbox these two things and I will show you what we got. Oh, here is the NAS. I use some pretty hefty tape on this. Let's try with the side. So here's the box of the NAS unit. Open this up. They sent us a Synology RS1219 Plus series. And as you can see, like I said, it's rack mountable. The hardware that's inside this NAS unit, it's compatible drive with 3.5 hard drives and 2.5 SATA drives. Let's see, it's got an external USB 3.0. Actually has two of them. One eSATA port, LAN port, that's 1 gigabit. And the weight, 6.90 kilograms. I'm not sure how much that is in pounds, but it's got a 3-year warranty on it. And yeah, it looks like about it. Let's open up this portion of it and see what this NAS unit looks like. Okay, second box is open. Start pulling some stuff out here. This looks like probably just a power cord. Yeah, it looks like they sent two different styles of power cords and a Synology quick guide and then some screws. The keys to unlock and lock the hard drive bays. I'm taking it. They package these things really good as far as, like, you know, the double boxing and even the tape that they put on there to tape the unit inside the box is really heavy duty packaging tape. And then they put this, you know, protective plastic bag around the NAS unit. Of course, this is difficult to do with one hand. But here it is. The front, it's as you can see, an 8-bay NAS drive. So what we're going to do is we have some hard drives that we're going to put in this and put it in the rack and start it up and get it provisioned and see, you know, I'm sure the operating system looks the same as most of the Synology boxes that we've seen. Here's the back. Got 2 fans in the back, and then we've got 4 LAN ports. Looks like it's hard to read. Yeah, 4 LAN ports, and those are all, I think, 1 gig ports. the two USB 3.0 ports. You've got a reset button back here. Serial port, and then an eSATA port here. Pretty straightforward. I think this is an expansion bay here that you can put, I believe you could put like a 10 gigabit NIC card in there. But yeah, just put the rails that they gave us on the sides here, be able to put it in our rack. Yeah, let's open up the box to the rails here. Synology Rail Kit RKS1317 quick guide. And yeah, just your standard rack rails here. So we will be installing this. I'll show you exactly where we're going to be installing it at. So here's our rack here, and you've probably seen this in some of our other videos. We're going to be putting the Synology NAS unit right below this, our main NAS that we have here. And yeah, once we get that all put into the rack and booted up, we will be showing you the video on the setup for the Synology. So here's a look at the Synology NAS. I took the top lid off just so you could see kind of the components that are inside. You got the main circuit board here, heatsink. You've got one stick of DDR memory. That's a 2 gigabyte stick. And there's another bay here that you could expand the memory if you wanted to. You've got the two exhaust fans here. You got your power cable that comes in and connects to the circuit board. And then, you know, you've got your controller here on the back side for the hard drives. But we also put the rails on for the rack. I'll show you the rails here on the so right here, the rails that go on the actual network rack. So you can see the one here and then the other one here. That's gonna go right underneath my first server here. So these rails that I showed you, these actually slide into those other rails. And yeah, I'll put it in there and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so we got the Synology in the rack, and here it is. You got your power LED and power button, status light, an alert LED, and we've got two LEDs for the two hard drives that we have in there, 1 and 2, and they've got LEDs for all 8 bays. Show you just, you know, basic rack mounted device. Plugged in the back. So what we're going to do is we are going to log into the Synology NAS and set it up for the first time. So here is the Synology RackStation NAS unit that was sent to us by Synology. It's the RS1219 Plus. I thought I'd show you on the website here some of the specifications for it. It is a 2U rack mountable NAS unit. It has an Intel Atom C2538 processor, 64-bit, 4 cores, 2.4 gigahertz, hardware encryption, AES, System memory that this unit that they sent me has is 2 gigabytes of DDR3. It has 2 DIMM slots. One of them is full with the unit that they sent me. Expandable memory up to 16 gigabytes, which would be 2 8 gigabyte sticks. Let's see what else. Has 8 hard drive bays. And with the max hard drive bays expansion unit, it looks like you can go maybe up to 12. So an expansion bay of 4 possibly. And it looks like it has the model unit RX418. It's compatible with your standard 3.5 and 2.5 SATA hard drives, and it also does 2.5 SSDs. Looks like maximum internal gross capacity 128 terabytes, which I think they're saying with 16 terabyte drives times 8, and that's where you get the 128. Max gross capacity with expansion would be 192 terabytes. Hot swappable disks. It has 4 1 gigabit RJ45 ports. It has 2 USB 3.0 ports, 1 eSATA port, and then it has a PCI Express expansion slot where you can put in, if you had like a 10 gigabit network card, you could put it in there. Also, you could put a hard drive in there or you could put a drive in there for a cache drive if you wanted to. Supports ButterFS, a bunch of different formats. I think that's about it. Let's see here. What we'll do is, I already have it all set up in the rack, and now everything's plugged in, network cable powered on, and we are going to go and look to see what the IP address of this is. Looks like 192.168.73.208. So I'm going to open up a web browser and I'm going to put that in and hit enter. And it should pull up the web assistant here for Synology. And you see that set up your Synology RS1219 Plus now. So we'll click the setup button. Install DiskStation Manager DSM. So it's going to install the latest version of DSM. We'll click install now. I understand that all data of these hard disks will be removed. Click OK. Installing DiskStation Manager says that it could take up to about 10 minutes to format the disk and get the DSM installed. With how quickly it's moving, I think it's going to take less than 10 minutes, but we will cut back when this is over. Okay, we're back, and it looks like it is getting ready to restart the NAS unit. It's got a countdown of 10 minutes now, so we will again come back when this is finished. Okay, we're back. It looks like it finished. And it wants us to fill out, let's see, server name. We'll just put Amore IT Solutions NAS. Username, we'll just put admin. I'll put in a password. Might not like the server name, might be too long. Maximum length is 15 characters, so we'll just put Synology NAS. Click next. Oh, it doesn't like admin either, so we'll just put my name. Click next. Set up quick connect. You could do it with your Synology account. You can either create a Synology account for the quick connect, or you can create quick connect ID with existing Synology account, which I do have. Let's see if I can remember. Don't know what my quick connect ID is. We'll just skip this part. You were all set. Let's take a quick guided tour of DSM. And then it gives you the option to share my Synology devices network location to allow me to locate it via findsynology.com. Yeah, that's fine. Checkbox. Click that. Click go. Let's see. Smart update. From now on, once your DSM update is ready, your RackStation will automatically check if the update patch addresses any issues in your current DSM configuration and services in use, and accordingly determine whether to notify you of such update. Okay, we got that. Device analytics. Synology needs your help. Enable us to improve your usage experience. Basically, it wants information. I'm going to click no thanks. So this looks pretty familiar. You know, the DSM doesn't look so far much different than some of the other non-rack mountable NASs from Synology that we've used. It's got your health indicator here, your uptime, your IP address, CPU and RAM monitor there. So what we're going to want to do is set up, well, let's see, we're going to want to set up the hard drives and set up the volumes. Let's see. Go into package center first. What do we want to install here? So it's already an update for universal search, so we might as well just go ahead and update that now. Over to storage manager. It says we have 2 drives, 6 unused drive bay spots. Let's go to volume. We need to create a volume. We can use the quick feature or the custom. Let's see. Let's just do the quick because I know that I want to just use, well, we'll do custom, see what it looks like. Create a new storage. Do we want one for better performance? This type of storage pool supports only a single volume but provides better performance, higher flexibility. This type of storage pool supports multiple volumes, allowing higher flexibility and space allocation. We're just going to go with better performance. We only have 2 hard drives, and this is just for testing purposes. So, storage pool, description. We'll just put the name of the business. Let's see. So we got RAID 1, RAID 5, RAID 6, 10, basic. So we're going to go with RAID 1 is going to be the only option we're going to be able to do. Maybe basic, because we only have 2 hard drives. And we could do RAID 0, but we'll do RAID 1. For some of you that don't know, RAID 1 is basically it's mirroring the drives so that in RAID 0 you're going to have to where it's going to stripe it. It's going to put all the information on 2 of the drives. And you're not going to have any type of kind of fault tolerance if something happens to the drive. You really don't want to do RAID 0. RAID 0 is good for performance. You'll get more speed typically out of RAID 0, but RAID 1 in this situation is going to be a better situation for what I'm setting up. Description here, RAID 1 is the most often implemented with 2 drives. Data on the drives are mirrored, providing fault tolerance in case of drive failure. Read performance is increased, while write performance will be similar to a single drive. A single drive failure can be sustained without data loss. RAID 1 is often used when fault tolerance is key, while space and performance are not critical requirements. So we're going to go ahead with RAID 1, click next, and then we want to choose which drives we want to use. Like I said, we have 2 500 gigabyte hard drives, and actually I think it says that one of the drives, the sectors are bad on it. Let's see. Please note the following regarding we highly recommend replacing drives with bad sectors because, okay, well, I know that one of these drives isn't that great, but we're going to use it anyways just for testing purposes. We're going to use Btrfs which is the file system supports advanced features including shared folder snapshots and replication, shared folder quota, advanced data integrity protection, and DDSM. Opposed to the ext4, which is basically a file system is widely used for Linux operating systems and can be easily migrated to RackStation running earlier versions of DSM. So we're going to go with ButterFS. Click Next. Description of storage pool. We're just going to go with the same. We're going to let it take up the whole capacity of the drive. Storage there. And confirm settings. That all looks good. Click Apply. And it's going to start to create the volume. Not sure how long this is going to take, but we will go ahead and let this run, and when it is done, we will be back. Okay, it looks like it has finished, and status of our storage pool is healthy. Total capacity 442 gigabytes. Used only 59.75 megabytes. Okay, let's exit out of here. Active backup for business. This is a program that we use a lot for our business where we can basically back up computers, back up PCs. So say you had a business where you had 25 computers and you wanted either documents backed up or you wanted the whole entire computer backed up, this is a program that you would use. You install the Active Backup for Business client on each one of the computers, and each of the computers will back up to the Synology NAS. Let's see. Also, this here's the package center. Lot of software in here. Some of the things that some other of the programs that we use, Active Backup for Office 365, Active Backup for G Suite. Just depends on obviously our client and which one that they're using. We're seeing more and more people going over to G Suite opposed to Office 365. See what else they have here. Snapshot replication we use quite often. We haven't set up any cameras yet using the surveillance station, but yeah, the surveillance station, from what I've heard, is really nice. You basically can, as long as you have OVIF camera systems or cameras that support that file system, you can connect it to the Synology using the surveillance station software, and it will allow you to connect multiple cameras. They don't have to be all the same make and models, and they all will record to the Synology NAS. So that is something that we're going to do in a future video. I might do one next week. I do have some cameras that I can hook up to this and use the surveillance station software. Another thing that we use, Synology Calendar, Also, Synology chat server is nice. It's just like an instant messaging chat service that you can have installed on each computer, I believe, and server. So if you had employees that you needed to talk to, or even from a network managing or an IT management, you would be able to remotely, or you'd be able to have the software on there and talk to each one of the each user at each PC. So say you had a situation where someone was saying that they couldn't, get a program to run right, or something was crashing, or they needed help with recovering some files, you would be able to chat using the Synology chat server. So it's a pretty nice service. But that is it for this video. I just wanted to show the unboxing of the unit itself, go over some specs, show the actual rails that were installed, and then show it in the rack, and then go through the setup and show some of the software packages that they have that come with the DSM. But if you have any questions or want to hire us, you can reach out to us at amoreitsolutions.com, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks.